Welcome back and or to the channel. Trucker Rod and the S.E.E channel. I was kind of on the fence whether to do a live stream tonight. It's been busy, crazy, and very hectic in my life, here in the truck and at home, as we are bouncing between painters and contractors working in our Michigan house and my guy working on my house out in Arizona. Of course, my schedule here is extremely busy. No shortage of work. And next week I'll probably have the green light, but right now I'm 99.9% I'm green lighted to be a bus mechanic out in Arizona for a school district. I should be starting that right around July 6th, and turning wrenches. And how do I get into being a mechanic? Well, I came out of high school with 4 years of training in what they called like a vocational school while I was going to school, and in welding. I needed to go and finish my certification because Dow Chemical was like a couple miles in our backyard, both the Dow Chemical, Dow Corning plants. So I was going to be a welder, trained and got all prepped and ready to be a welder, got talked out of that, and I pivoted into, I went to vocational school for 1 year, then a 2-year associate's degree in heavy truck and heavy equipment mechanic. I worked at a national lease dealer, similar to like Ryder. Did that for a year, and I worked at a Alice Chandler's Gleaner Combine farm implement dealership while I was going to school. So I did all that, and then when I got my license and my degree, I applied for a mechanic's job, which, as I've told you before, they were I was light on experience, but they had a full shop, because back then you went and knocked on doors, you filled out applications at the employer, or you went to the unemployment office and they had a list of jobs looking for employees, and then you would fill out an application there and or get information and go to that employer to get an application and get an interview. That said, they hired me on the spot as a truck driver after test driving, and it paid twice as much as a mechanic, and I was needless to say, I was behind on bills, child support, and what have you. So I still wrenched as a seasonal mechanic for the county where I lived originally, while I worked in healthcare for many years, and I also wrenched, fabricated, and did stuff while I was in college. So between college and healthcare, because healthcare never really paid much, my base salary in healthcare started at 42, and I think I stayed at 42. With my overtime throughout the year, I was making like 48.50. Best year was 60. You know, that was 2004 through 2014. So I said I'm going to go back in as a mechanic. People ask why I don't go into healthcare. I've been there and done that. I was not impressed with healthcare. Now, granted, my bachelor's degree and my healthcare experience, I fell back on my bachelor's degree when I dropped out of chiropractic physician school, because I had to move back to Michigan to take care of personal stuff that pertained to my son, and so I put that on hold. So instead of being out on the road and away from home driving truck, I really considered going to Caterpillar school, and or Cummins, just a Caterpillar mainly because I can get into engines and heavy equipment repair. I got talked into, just going into health or working my degree in a healthcare hospital setting job, is starting out as an EKG tech, then stress testing, and then I got my way into the cardiac cath. But would that, I was good at it, and I'm usually good at everything I apply myself into. But this time, I saw what COVID did to a lot of my coworkers, a lot of my colleagues, and people become expendable, especially in healthcare, and you get your feet wiped on, and you're underappreciated and underpaid for taking care of human lives. So I just said no to that, and like I said, even though I have a bachelor's degree, my whole thing is I wanted to be a chiropractor, have my own practice, sports rehab, and all that jazz. But we did not see that through, so that's on the back burner. So that's kind of like a trail not finished, or it came to an end. I made my peace with it. It is what it is. And I just don't see the money in healthcare is where I can go with what I know now. I've made far more money, and I need, with less stress, even out here on the road. Therefore, I'm very content, happy, moving forward, turning wrenches, and just hanging out with a small group of people and not dealing with a whole slew of dramatic women and men and ornery doctors and people on a power trip running around the hospital with a clipboard in their hands. So I just don't. I wouldn't make it till lunch and I'd be fired. Plain and simple. I wouldn't hold back on my mouth being unfiltered. So looking forward to it, and a nice schedule to where I'm going to be home every day, at my dinner table, in my bed, and being able to step away and have a great time. They provide the tools and toolbox, and they will provide training and continuing education and all that stuff in the advancement, like with the diesel engines and technology that comes along with the school buses. So I just feel that, all right, hey, if I can get continuing education and learn more, great. Then at least I'm evolving and moving forward, and it's not just going to be a non-challenging, non-stagnant job. So that's going to happen. I am done here driving this truck. My very last day is the 26th, hopefully the 25th of June, because I got an auto transporter hauling my truck and other stuff on his gooseneck, and then we have 3 pods coming in. We got to fill those going into the weekend of Friday the 26th. We start loading everything up 27th. We'd like to be on the road hopefully Sunday the 28th is the earliest. The latest would be Monday the 29th. But the sooner we can get out there, the sooner, because the wife and I have to get the pods unloaded into our storage unit and kind of get some stuff settled down out there. And then we got to go through, clean the house. She's got a whole slew of things she wants to do. That house is going to be so easy to take care of. It is going to be a blessing. The Michigan house has just been a freaking nightmare. Had the crew in there. They've gutted the kitchen and sanded, stripped everything, the cupboards, doors, everything but the flooring and the ceiling, and just giving it a complete makeover. I'm going to do what I can. So last week I was going to try to do something at home, but last week we became very busy. I got home Wednesday afternoon. I put rear brakes on my wife's car because I knew my wife's car was going to be due for brakes. It's 7 years old with 47,000 miles on it. So I put on new pads and rotors. So I did that, got new tires on it, checked it over. Then we went for a conference meeting, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. And then because the house was being shown on Thursday, so this was Thursday. um, Set up the moving sale for Friday and Saturday. Wife was kind of skeptical whether to have the moving sale or not. It was windy and cold in Michigan for the area we lived in. It felt like we were going into the November or Thanksgiving weekend, is what the temps and the weather felt like. And before I go on, hey folks, if you can, hit the like button. Kind of helps push us out in the algorithm and spread this video around for more people to be recommended to, to watch. To get more people to chime in and watch the video here. So we had the moving sale Friday and Saturday. We got back from the meeting, mowed the lawn, we set up the moving sale. We were just full throttle going. Then we were just nonstop because the painting crew and the guys came in on Saturday while we were having a moving sale. So we had the house getting destroyed while we were out in the garage, just conversing and working with people, making sales and all that. Took away our stove and all that, so we were able to get the grill out at least and get some meals done Saturday and Sunday. Sunday it was thunderstorms, rain and cold. I ran some errands, got some stuff done, got the truck ready, went home, we ate, and we were in bed at 4 p.m. Sunday because I had to be up early and in this truck and rolling. Got on the road. Yesterday got my travel time done. I started outside of Pittsburgh today, went to Maryland, down towards Roanoke, over to Lewisburg, West Virginia, then Parisburg, Virginia, then here at Elliston, Virginia at the Loves. Then I got Roanoke in the morning for a stop. Then I got a couple stops outside of Bristol. Then I got to hit the whole eastern. I got just about all my stops going up the eastern Kentucky border, all the way up to towards Ashland, and then I got to run across, and then south central towards northern Tennessee, over Columbia, Kentucky, then back up to between Louisville and Lexington. So I am all over the place this week. It's going to be a lot of miles. So will I miss this? No. I'm kind of at the end of my rope. Just being out here and being gone all the time, and then trying to get home and getting things done. So pretty road fatigued, as far as, don't want to say burned out, but been there, done that. Driving is driving. It's easy, it's simple, but after a while it's not challenging either. So I'm looking for new challenges and just new stimulation with the new job. And the wife and I went into a meeting on Thursday. So right now they need a driver for this truck. If anybody knows anyone that has a Class A tractor trailer and lives in Michigan, near Michigan, wants to relocate to Michigan, but they need a tractor trailer driver to cover this route. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, and utmost. Now, if you want to inquire, if you know someone that may fit the bill, I've got my email on the channel here for Self-Educated Entrepreneur. You can find my email. Email me. That'd be the best way to go. We're not throwing out any phone numbers, and I'm not doxing the company right now. But you will have to, you don't need to leave on Sunday. You can leave Monday mornings. You'll be back Thursday, Friday at the latest. You get in, 45, 55 hours a week. Overtime after 40 because you're paid by the hour. You get health insurance. You can get the premium that you pay out of pocket, per pay period, or you can get the free, HMO that they'll pay. You got dental, you got short term, you got life insurance, you got all kinds of jazz going on that, and paid holidays, paid vacation. What else can I say? Um, and all the equipment is leased through Ryder, so it's, at least maintained and taken care of that way. And I think we're coming up either this year or next year. They're flipping out new vehicles as the leases are coming due again. So just want to say that if anybody knows of anyone, or if you're interested, just email me, and I'll pass that information on to the powers that be. In your email, just put down your name, what you have for classifications on your CDL, a contact number, and we'll, everything they would need to reach out to you, see if, see if you qualify. Now, the other side of that is not only driving this truck and getting to multiple customers per week on a route, but you got to get in the trailer, utilize the lift gate, which I've shown people, how the lift gate works. But you got to utilize the lift gate. You got to go in and move product out to the customer's door, what we call curbside, but basically to their door. If today's raining right now, so excuse me. So you would not leave the product out in the rain. You would, take it inside the door. Usually they got 9 out of 10 of my customers have someone there to help you take stuff off the lift gate. Most of the time I just lower the lift gate, they pull it off, pull it inside the building, and or if you bump a dock, they pull it in, or you run it out past the dock plate, and that's it. And it's not that hard of work. I know people are just like mowing the lawns, hard work. Walking to the mailbox is hard work. It's like, I know this young generation, and they're about as useless as tits on a soundboard. You can't get them to do anything, and all they do is complain, complain, complain. But that's what you get when you've got social programs that cater to everyone with welfare and SNAP and Medicaid and all that other jazz. But it's a good job, and you got a 401k. They match up to 4%. It's a good, well-rounded place. It's a 5-6 truck company, so it's a small company. They know you by name, not by truck number, not by number. They know you. And I would never work for a mega carrier. I've seen these mega carriers, especially these last 5 years. I would rather go shovel pig shit than drive for Swift, Hirschbach, Warner, JB, Snyder, any of those turds. I would rather go do that. Give blood before I did that. I wouldn't touch them. They're not worth it. And with all their policies, their saturation of company policies on top of what the FMCSA has, you just can't have any. There's no wiggle room for breathing or movement or anything, without them being critically on you over your driving, time management, and all that. Here you've got a lot more freedom to set your route up, how, what works for you once you acclimate, know your customers, know the route, how, what customer opens at what time. If, getting to know the customers personally enough that, they'll come in early to get you going. So it's one of those, you got to establish your customer relationship with them and be just a good driver and a good representative of this company as an employee to help them, because they pay your wages as far as buying product from us. So, and everything is internal, so you don't go and just make a deliveries and then go and pick a backhaul up. There's no backhauls. You get paid by the hour. When you get to the yard, you punch in. You log in. And the punch-in's on the tablet. You log in, do your pre-trip, get on your way, and all your log hours is paid by the hour. And like I said, after 40 is overtime. And when your route's done, I can be sitting in Corbin, Kentucky, needing to go back to Grand Rapids, Michigan. If there's no no backhaul. I just point it north and put it to the wood, and I'm paid by the hour all the way back to the yard. During fuel ups, during traffic backups, sitting at a dock, you're paid by the hour. And they don't get on you about speeding and rushing and doing all that. Just go at a comfortable pace. Throat has been dry today. Just go at a comfortable pace that gets the route done. Obviously, if you're screwing off or wasting a lot of time, you're going to get called out on it. But what I can say is they've treated me good. I've got 10 out of the last 12 years. I've been here 2 years. I went over to Ryder, working for them as a float driver. But overall, I came back during COVID, and they just tossed me a credit card, keys, my truck, a route, and said, go at it, because no one wanted to work then. So I'm just pointing out that if you need a job, you know someone that needs a job in trucking, they have a Class A. You don't need all your endorsements, just air brakes and all that jazz. You don't need your hazmat and tankers. But they treat you really good. Now, if you don't want to, I do the sleeper truck, but I also get extra pay for certain things I do because of using this. The rest of the fleet runs day cabs. With the day cabs, the boss lady does pay your hotels and your meals. So you get to stay at a hotel. The hotel there is a cap. Like, usually they like to stay at around, it used to be around 150, but with inflation and COVID and all that, everything's gone up. So we've seen prices at 175, 200 a night. But I keep on my phone, I've kept the Choice Hotel app and Holiday Inn. Choice Hotel seems to have the best hotels for truck parking, semi-truck parking. Some Holiday Inns really can get you in there too. And a lot of guys know what hotels they want to stay at because you can walk across the parking lot to a nice restaurant, and she pays for the restaurant, the food and all that. So that's all covered, So if you want to do day cab, do hotels and restaurants, that's all on the company here. It's not out of your pocket. You just got to make sure you bring receipts back with you. So you got to be responsible. But you've got an assigned truck. The truck, when you're assigned that truck, that is your truck. Unless your truck's into the shop or something else, you take a spare truck or they get you a rental. But basically, you are not slip seating. You're in your assigned truck. So I can't lay it out any better than that, guys. And if you know someone, please spread this thing out. Have them reach out to me. I would be more than happy to get their information. If they just give me a list of information, email even their resume or something, I'll pass it on to the powers to be. And they'll probably let me know if I, can talk more openly, the name of the company, what we do, what we haul. But at this time, I don't have the liberty to do that. But, and I only do that because I don't want to be a target. So, yeah, there's a lot of bad actors out here. So, and anyhow, yeah, and we cover regions. Our regions cover like certain parts of Iowa, Minnesota, all the way across Wisconsin, Northern Illinois, all of Indiana, all of Ohio, all of Michigan, half of Pennsylvania, western side of Maryland. I cover, but this is our company as a whole. But for me, I cover little parts of Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio, all of West Virginia, just over a third of Virginia. We've got, I would say, at least 2/3 of Kentucky. And our territory is expanding. So we are growing. We're expanding. It's not like we're getting pigeonholed like many companies. We specialize in a product we deliver, and it keeps us busy. So that's why the significance of that was I stayed here because I knew the product, I knew the customers, compared to just being out there with a regular trucking company, say like Swift or JB or one of these others, where yeah, you could do a dedicated run, but when the contract comes up on these big mega carriers and they don't get the contract, then you're moving on to look for either another dedicated run with that company, or you leave and go to another company that gets you on a dedicated. Here, it's been consistent. These folks have been in business and operating since like 1960, 61. So they've been in business for, wow, what, 40, 50, 60, 65, almost 70 years, over 65 years now. So that's what I can tell you. It's a rock solid company. Why am I getting out of it? Because I'm turning 60 this year, folks, and I've been telling people, no, I'm not retiring. Everyone thinks, oh, you're going into retirement. No, no, no. I am going out and downshifting. I am just want to work 40 hours a week and be home every day, and I don't want to drive. I'm done. I've done everything I wanted to do since 1988, from being a welder, mechanic, truck driver, going to school to be a doctor, worked in healthcare, worked in cardiovascular, worked in a cardiac. I've revived people that have flatlined. I've been in there when I've seen hearts being taken out, new valves put in. I've been in with defibrillators and pacemakers. I have gone to school and valet cars and watched people while I'm parking cars at a valet parking lot get shot. I've seen everything I wanted to see. I've driven where I've wanted to driven, and life's been good. But I've got a young lady at home that admires me unconditionally, and she needs my time. And this is my time to go home and spend time with that lady. And we need to build some memories, because she's been through a lot, and I owe it to her. So she's done it for. She has done on that side. She has done all the money I've made. She's stretched every penny to a dollar, and she's made sure debts have gotten paid off and capital has gotten built up so we could buy this house and make this move. So bless her heart for that, because that's why I could do what I'm doing. Not a lot of husband and wives can say that. So I'm not staying on the hamster wheel and just keep doing this over and over and over. This is not a life, and this is not a marriage. If you're single, hey, it's a great life for you. But if you're looking to find a woman and start a family and have kids, trucking's not for you. So leave it at that. But I've had a good time. This place has treated me with nothing but respect and kindness, and I appreciate that. And like I said, it's been an awesome experience. It's definitely let me see another side of life when I spent over a decade in healthcare, just to come back out here and get another view of life with a more mature mind. And it's honed my skills in many other ways, in my character sense. But I have experiences more than just trucking, and that's what I try to tell people. It's like, I can skin a cat 7 ways a Sunday. This isn't the only thing I know how to do. So, so yeah, I'm just gonna fall back on that, do my thing, learn a little bit about mechanical stuff, and I'm just watching these guys in the Few Islands. Just been like, it's a typical Loves and Pilot, just a typical asinine shit show to watch a bunch of dum-dums just racing around because they're racing their ELD clocks and trying to get fuel, trying to find parking. There's no parking here, so everyone's racing out of here then to go down the road and find another spot. But yeah, it gets pretty comical. Won't miss it, but we'll miss home cook, or I am going to enjoy home cooked meals every night instead of microwave and meal preps. So other than that, that's where I'm at with everything. And we are, we're locked and loaded. We've already set all the logistics. Is all set. and things are in place, so we're going. And I don't know. A lot of people are just spooked, when they say, "Oh, you're moving. Why are you moving?" Well, because I want to. I want to be in an area where I'm going to be more content and happy. I don't like Michigan. I can tell you right now, I've despised living in Michigan my whole life because of the winters. It is drab, dreary, and depressing, and I just despise it. And I'd rather have sunshine and palm trees. Well, it's gonna be hot where you're gonna be at. Duh! It's like yeah. You think I didn't read the brochure when I kind of crossed the state line? And said, "Oh, Arizona, welcome. You're in the desert and it's hot." No shit, Dick Tracy. Um, yeah, I know this. So I'll take that over the long, drabby, dreary winters. And I just don't want to be snowed in when I'm 80, 85. And I want to be out doing things all season long. Summer, fall, winter, spring. I just want to be on the go doing things. I don't want to be dealing with snow and ice and salt and bundling up like trying to get across the Alaskan tundra just to go get groceries or an appointment done. So I am in a position. I've done it. I'm going to live there. It's my life. And people just get all pissy about, the decisions I'm making about that. But whether they're being pissy or maybe they're just being envy because they're stuck and they're trapped. Maybe they're trapped in a horrible job, a terrible marriage, and they're just, they're locked in their life. And to make any move, whether it be fatally costly monetarily for them, and I can see that for many people. So that's not me, and I'm pretty happy and content. So I am looking forward to this. So I'm just counting down to get these next 5 weeks done. This is week number 5 I'm on. Next week will be number 4, so on and so forth. And but we got to wrap up. We're going to pop the moving sale one more time this Friday and Saturday. I won't be home Friday for it, but she doesn't have much left. From what we started out with to where we're at now, it's really gotten down. I said, just start pushing stuff. I'd rather be giving stuff away, or if someone's buying one shirt, here, take 3 more. Because if it goes to Goodwill, they're going to take it as a donation, then turn around and mark it up and ask for more, so they're going to charge more money than what I am at the moving sale. So we've been just like, little girls that come in, and my wife had her hair ties there. They like, "Oh, I like this hair tie." She goes, "Take 3." We were just like, take more, just because I'd rather see someone walk away and need it than to give it to Goodwill, and then they have to sell it to someone that's got to reach in their pocket that does need it, but they have to still pay for it. And so we're giving a lot of helping hands on our moving sale, just giving stuff away. But it's also taught us that the material side of things is irrelevant, unimportant, and we're not, our house is going to be far smaller, so to bring more stuff in means we got to something's got to be taken away to bring something in, and we're going to be that'll keep ourselves in check, because really at the end of the day I just want to celebrate life and just go out and have a good time, meet people, take some trips, get in the car and go places, and not be on as I told a few people at the moving sale, I said, I'm tired of being a 34-hour husband, and unless you know it in this industry, your 34 hours of restart, come home, spend 34 hours, get your logs restarted, fresh hours, and then back on the road. And I said, I'm done being a 34-hour husband. I want to get out on I want to be home more often, and I want to apply myself more with my wife, then doing things together, but I also want to embed myself more in our, the community we live in out there. Get more involved, participating, and I just haven't had a chance to do any of that where I currently live because of driving truck. But And why don't I stay at that house? Well, that house has been needing a lot of work. We've done a lot of it in the last month. We've dropped over 10 grand already into this house um, in the last 4 weeks. But it's too big for us. It's a 4-bedroom house. It's just too much. And we want to move on and just be in a content house that is more ample for both of us in 20 years when we're 80 years old. And yeah, so I'm looking back. 20 years ago was 2006. I was already 2 years in healthcare working full time. And I'm like, 20 years from now, I'm going to be 80. So I'm just like, I want to unhitch all the crap I own and just have just the bare essentials I need to get through each and every day. And work more on my home-based businesses to build more cash flow so we can, go out and enjoy more dinners out, travel more, have the freedom just to, if we want to just wake up Saturday morning and say, hey, let's go hit the golf course. We hit the golf course. I don't have to worry about doing yard work and doing this and doing that. So that's her mindset. That works for her and I. It doesn't work for everybody because everyone's in a different mindset. They cherish more things like having a new car every couple years, taking expensive trips, whether it's a cruise or Cancun or Disney. that's for each person that, that's your take. I don't need to be in that kind of program to feel joy and excitement. I can go sit on Bell Rock up in Sedona and just look across the horizon with my wife for a couple hours and be very content. So, boring to a lot of people, but we enjoy more of being out in the natural settings of like national parks, up there in the areas around Sedona, out in Bulldog Canyon, and we still got a bucket list of things we're built up to go check off and do. And do it while you're young, do it while you're healthy. So, and then last but not least, our biggest thing is when we get out there, and I was talking to my cousin last night, I said, we're standing on a foundational mantra of spiritual God, spiritual, physical, and mental health. And I said, those three things, that trifecta, because if you don't have any of those, you don't know where you're going, you've got no faith, you've got no direction in the afterlife. But if you're not taking care of your physical and mental health, how many people have you known? How many people do we know in society that has come up short in life with heart attacks and cancer and all that, and or dementia, Alzheimer's? Because this vessel you have will get you along for so long, but if you abuse it and misuse it, and if you're not conscious on eating right, hydrating, and staying moving and active instead of sitting in air-conditioned house all day playing video games, that's not us. We just want to get out and be active and enjoy life, because neither one of us knows when our time's up. With her, she's been under the knife and many surgeries. Therefore, I want her to be able to enjoy life and not just settle and get by. So that's what a husband does. That's what a father does. A father to his kids never stops being a parent. Your kids graduate from high school, they graduate from college. You still don't stop being a parent. You are a parent till you die. And that is still, I want to be strong and fit and healthy so I can still have good conversations with my kids in 10, 20, 30 years from now, and see them growing and evolve and develop as I've been doing right along. But you got to take care of yourself, and this is not a healthy lifestyle. Anybody knows that. So anyhow, I'm going to cut it short. It's getting late. I got my food laid out on the fridge here. Looks like we're having, I got some rotisserie shredded chicken. I'm going to have a chicken wrap, tomato soup, and some rice. So that's what's going on tonight. It's raining out right now. It was sunny when I got here. Very beautiful and nice. And after I got the live stream set up, started getting things ready, and it started downpouring. So we're kind of just looking at a drabby, turn you guys around, drabby night here. And that's what I'm dealing with. And there's the Fuel Island, the Catskill. The Catskill notoriously is getting filled up with trucks parking around it looking for open spots, or they're just going to park there for the night. But loves never disappoints as far as just that and Pilot. I was at a Pilot last night in Grantsville, Maryland. I was on the very western edge of Maryland. I want to say the northwest corner of Maryland or something, if you'd want to call that. It's like right in the southeast corner of where Pittsburgh and Maryland comes up in off from I-68. So I had a delivery up there, and I don't have that many deliveries, but they are just spread all over the place. And what did I have? I had Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia, and Kentucky. So I got 5 states I got deliveries in this week, and it's a 4-day week. And I'm like, talk about kicking my ass. But it's not that there's a lot of stops, but it's going to have a lot of miles. And I've got a lot of windshield time because most of my stops were either 2 to 3 hours apart today. The last 2 were just over an hour apart. So I kicked those off. So I just got to pop into Roanoke, come back out in 81 and shoot 81 over towards Bristol. Not 2 out that are 15 minutes apart. And then head up the Cumberland Byway there, 23, and run that up, Pikeville and all that jazz. I got a lot of running to do. We'll see what we can get done. But yeah, there's no time to be smelling the flowers and taking pictures this week. So it would be nice if I could have left on Sunday and it would have been a normal week where I could have made deliveries on Monday and that. Then I could have slowed down, took a little time on things. But I appreciate y'all dropping in. And yep, I'm going to be a school bus mechanic starting in July. And from there, we'll be just my free time will be spent with my wife doing activities and working on my stock trades and other businesses that I have going on off the computer when I'm home, and looking forward to that so we can make that pivot into a new paradigm and completely write a new book on our life. And it's going to be interesting but kind of cool. I'm going to have to deprogram from being out on the road Mondays and Tuesdays, and getting used to just coming home on Mondays and Tuesdays and having dinner instead of trying to find a truck stop to park at so I can make a meal in a microwave. So going to be kind of cool. I'm excited, and I think give it about 6 months, I'll probably have this thing pretty far in my rear view mirror where I'm probably not going to be wanting to ever get back in the truck again, especially as I keep marching and getting older. My body's probably going to say, no, it's not worth it anymore. And I stretched it out, got this far, and I'm thankful and happy, but time to go. So, don't know when if I get another live stream next week. It's just been a really day-to-day. It's just been busy in all aspects. So, but yeah, we should be on the road here in about 4.5 weeks, getting ourselves pointing that direction. So, appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Continue continue educating yourself. Knowledge is learned, not taught. And again, like, comment, subscribe after the live stream. Just trying to build the channel up. We're going to be going places with it when we get out there, and definitely be able to do more outdoor streams, and not so much here in the truck. So appreciate y'all for building the channel to where it is now, and we'll be seeing y'all soon.